You can plant a garden in the metaverse if you want.
You could.
You could definitely do that.
You could do anything in the metaverse. You could grow horns.
People are buying like
You could grow
Burger King and drinking Seattle's best in the metaverse.
I wouldn't say they're drinking it.
But they say they are. I don't understand
Well, they're
that.
lying. You can't drink anything in the metaverse.
What does Zuck say about that?
I can't talk about our conversations.
Okay.
You know that. I signed an NDA. I have a question.
Okay.
How much tighter can this fucking shirt get?
Is it true classic?
No, it's not, but it doesn't match the other ones I got.
So what is
I
it?
like a good fit.
We're looking for a sponsor. So who is it?
Into the AM.
Into the
Some
AM?
brand on Amazon that I really like how it fits.
That's not good.
True Classics were super,
All over the place.
Yeah. And these kind of get that way too. Like this one here is a little tighter than usual. Feels like a
they're
small,
there.
So I kind of look like an asshole right now. And then the other ones fit normally fine. And then I got one that just came in that fits like a large.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
There they are. Into the AM.
Yeah.
They got graphic tees too. You wear those?
The only one's the little emblem, not because I love the emblem. That's all they have.
I mean like a graphic tee with like Metallica shit or...
No way, dude.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, unless it said Kirkland on the front, then you would...
Well, yes, because that's paid sponsorship.
Yeah.
Or unless it said Saviors of the Metaverse.
Calling all coffee lovers. Panera Bread. They could sponsor us.
Well, we got to make sure there's no conflict with Kirkland.
Yeah, they do make coffee, right?
They went out of business, didn't they?
Did they? I think a lot of shit in Seattle went out of business.
I think it did.
God, when we were kids, Seattle was the place.
Yeah, if you were into heroin and grunge music.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It was real nice.
Yeah.
You do that?
Heroin?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay. It's all right.
I just got done with my life insurance application. Of course not. No, man, I never did heroin. There was never an appeal. Like, I just didn't understand. I was like, oh, a needle in the arm? You're putting...
Yes.
But the music that came out because of it was pretty nice.
And the coffee.
Hold on, are you telling me that Seattle's Best was inspired by heroin?
No, I'm just saying
Let's go with it.
Yeah.
Let's go
with it. Got it. Yeah. It could be.
Yeah.
I like that.
I heard Wikipedia is no longer reliable, so we could go on there and just kind of create this.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I think it's...
There's a lawsuit or some shit? Or
No, I've just heard. Have not investigated for myself. I've heard it.
So whatever they say, if we said Seattle's Best was inspired by heroin, they're not getting sued and they don't really give a shit.
Ooh, we could say the drug-induced, the heroin-induced genius, right? Here you go. We're insulting you, but we're complimenting you, and we're creating a false narrative.
That's crazy. They have a history of Seattle's Best. This is so good.
Yeah.
But you know who they're owned by?
Starbucks.
Subsidiary. Are they? Doesn't say that. But this is Wikipedia.
Starbucks bottom. Oh, that is disgusting.
Nestle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's great.
Yeah.
They used to have stores. You go in.
Oh, I know. I always like Seattle's Best.
Do you like Starbucks? Do you go there anymore?
Well, if I want a large cup of diarrhea with chocolate in it.
Yeah.
Of course I do.
Sugar water now.
Pretty
much. What they sell.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. I've heard it's the app is all they care about. They don't want you going and wait in line. So they purposely make you wait longer to get your coffee because they want you to use the app.
It's just been verified.
So you walk in there. Yeah. But people who are like investors and that type of shit. Not like I got 10 shares of Starbucks. I mean like a lot of money type of thing. Board of directors.
Boy, you wouldn't have to do this podcast if you had 10 whole shares.
You go, their app is actually really good.
Yeah.
You can do it all and you walk in there. The problem is you walk in there and there's hundreds of cups of different types of drinks of just sitting on the table. You're like, where the fuck's mine?
Yeah.
Where's my coffee or my
Do you
milkshake?
feel like it's intentional targeting?
I don't go in there a lot.
Is it ageism?
The last time I was in there is
because
when
you look
our
old?
Power was off. And we needed coffee. So I go there and I'm like, holy shit, the entire city is at Starbucks today because no one could have their coffee.
Oh, yeah. I remember this. It was like a year ago, wasn't it?
This is like a month ago.
Oh.
It was just power's off in our area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hurricane.
The bourgeois.
I don't know.
Power didn't go out for us, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your shit's
Matthew
buried.
Strong. Well,
why aren't all power lines buried now? I know. That's a dumb question. I'm just asking a futurist. Yeah.
Oh, futurist?
Is
about
that
something that's happened in the past?
Can we bury all the power lines? Or
We
no?
certainly can.
Okay.
There's no reason to have them all above ground.
Is that something to do with Buttigieg? No.
Who's that?
Yeah. What is he? Did he lose his job yet?
Oh, he's going to.
Okay. Yeah, he's not going to last.
Talk about a raw deal. It's like, hey, buddy, drop out of the race before Super Tuesday, and we're going to give you a job in the administration. A job you're totally unqualified for, which, again, this tip.
It's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
And one where nobody will remember your name.
Yeah.
Except when shit goes bad.
Except on this podcast.
Yeah, I guess I just kind of disproved my own theory by talking
It's
about
awesome,
it.
though.
Yeah, I've got all this.
But so power lines, obviously, if you're in the city, it's really hard to bury those because those have been there for a long time.
It's not hard.
It
would be. You just have a lot of work to do, but it's not like, oh, geez, we can't do this. They could do it.
Would it help? Are there downsides to burying power lines? Like, you're not expert in this.
As a non-expert, I'll give you my expert opinion.
Yeah.
I don't see any downsides to burying power lines at all.
Like animals?
It's not going to bury them like...
What about the intrastellars or interstellars? What are
you're getting down with the UFOs.
Yeah.
We're definitely talking about that since that was, 2-hour congressional hearing yesterday.
I heard about that last night, wasn't it?
You heard? No. It was during the day. It was 11 o'clock or 11:30.
Oh, maybe when I saw the tweet about it, it was late. So I just assumed this was happening in real time. For me, in my world, it was late at night. I actually thought of you. I was in bed and I thought of you. That's dangerous.
Well, and it's frequent.
So power lines, I don't know. It's frequent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. October 18th, 2022, Starbucks sold Seattle's best coffee to Nestle.
Ah, okay. So they were the owners. See, I was completely wrong.
No, so I'm... Yeah.
That's like most things I say.
Borders bookstore chain signed a contract with them in 2004.
Yes, that's where
Borders books.
Remember Borders?
They don't exist, right? Books of Millions around.
Yeah. There's a few that are out there.
Yeah. God.
Barnes & Noble.
That's a good place. I like it there. But they just charge you so much money. And the people at the checkout, as nice as they are, my God, you got to hurry up. You really do.
Yeah, don't talk to me. Well, I'm just trying to buy my...
No, I like talking to people.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't tracking.
Society, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know, but they should hurry up. They should go faster because Amazon, I heard this shit. This is wild. We're like, oh my God, I order something on Amazon and it comes so fast.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to other countries, so I was talking to this guy who's working in AI and doing like WhatsApp.
Right.
So he'll go to like Thailand or UAE or different places and they order shit through WhatsApp.
Right.
It's in 10 minutes they have that. Whatever you can think of. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So we think we got it fast. We're 2-day delivery.
Right.
That's fucking crazy.
But what is that creating?
Oh, it's just like abundance.
It's creating a bunch of entitlement.
Oh, for sure.
Well, I didn't get it in 10 minutes, so fuck it. I'm going to return it.
So when they come here, it's like a third world country.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go there, like literally they take a picture with WhatsApp. I want it. And they hand it, like they'll find you on the fucking street and just I don't know if it's that far, but yeah.
Well, that means you probably had to turn over all your tracking location.
What do you care though? You're getting your shit so fast. You're like,
but
fuck
that's
it. We've already, dude, come on.
That's the issue.
Our shit's already tracked.
Let's go with this one.
Okay.
Privacy for freedom.
Do you think you're private right now?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
You'd have to take so many measures to do this. I mean, there's certain things you can...
You can't have an iPhone or a Samsung.
No. Apple guarantees I'm completely, anonymous. And I trust Tim Cook and Apple.
Yeah. What did you call him? You had a different name for Tim Cook. You had his name like all wrong. Oh, no. Biden had his name wrong.
No. Trump did. He called him Tim Apple.
Oh, Trump did that?
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Trump didn't.
Biden's like, who are you?
Yeah. No, he looked happy.
Biden looked really happy.
He looked they had a picture of him and Trump.
I bet he was high as a kite.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah.
He's having fun.
Trump probably wasn't sure what to make of it. Like, am I supposed to smile right now?
Yeah. That's awesome. Why would Burger King add Seattle's best? Every couple minutes, I'm just going to throw a new fun fact about Seattle's best coffee.
Yeah.
So they added to their menu. I guess Burger King doesn't have coffee like some people love McDonald's coffee. That's their favorite.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I know people.
Interesting.
I do know people, but I know people that actually also like.
Nice. That's good.
It's very good. That helps with the loneliness thing that we've talked about.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
What's the guy's? The health guy? The head guy? I don't know if he'll still have a job too, but U.S. government?
No.
Surgeon General.
Yeah, no. Oh,
he's good. The new one?
Oh, the guy that's been appointed? Or who's been...
He's been in his position for a while. And I don't know...
I don't know who it is.
Who appoints the Surgeon General.
Is it Pete Buttigieg?
He does that. Is it double?
Yeah. On the...
Like early on when we were doing like the marketing stuff, we'd work with these smaller businesses. And this one person would be like, I don't know, position inside of a real estate company. They would do like research. Mm-hmm. And that would be their position. And next thing you know, they're in charge of Facebook. And they're like, what am I doing? Yeah. I don't know. I hate Facebook. I don't want to be on it. But yeah, now I'm doing
small business, man.
And then they would call us up to bitch about their boss who just put them in charge of Facebook. We're like, why am I doing this shit?
Interesting.
I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, so we are basically a psychology company, mental health company without...
You're a counseling company. Or a marketing counseling company.
Yeah. We can't prescribe.
No. No.
What would be bad?
I mean, you
could give them what is it? Or what's that other stuff we were talking about before?
Mushrooms.
No, we weren't talking about mushrooms. What's the other drug? Seattle coffee.
Oh, heroin.
Heroin.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Fentanyl.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's what,
That's a bad drug.
It's a very bad drug.
Fuck.
Well, we just got real serious all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I was just trying to see if that triggered anything. Is there anything you want to talk about?
Oh, fentanyl?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I go to Arizona. They just had a massive drug bust in Phoenix.
Oh, did they?
A lot of fentanyl they found.
That's odd. I wouldn't think there would be drugs in Phoenix.
Yeah. They're so close to the border.
I know.
Man. Yeah. You see those road guys ever go down to the border? Like ex-military, and they're like watching the border. It's pretty dope, those guys.
Well,
but you want those guys on your team.
Or it's kind of like, fuck, are they ex-military or are they just some fat dipshit guy who's like, I'm going to play militia?
No, they got some real shit.
Yeah?
They got real weapons and stuff.
I mean, if you ain't got nothing better to do. Well, look, it's better than,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm always
just
wondering.
Posting on social media.
Are these veterans? I don't know. Maybe they are. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
God, man, this company, how did they go out of business? Delta Airlines in 2011?
I'm starting to think you're a little more interested in searching the net than talking to me.
I told you, every few minutes, I'm going to drop.
I'm only here because I'm lonely.
That's fine.
And right now, I feel even more unseen.
Yeah.
And I want to feel seen.
Yeah.
Does your wife ever say that to you? Like, I feel seen right now? That's the thing. My wife doesn't say that necessarily, but I wouldn't think your wife would say that. I don't know why I asked if your wife says
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I feel seen or I don't feel seen.
Have you heard this? Like,
that'd become more, I would say something like that, right? I'm not.
Yeah, I don't feel seen.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you.
No, but now you're not listening because it means other things. And so you should probably, eyes are twisted. I can't look at that. It's like an emoji. Vice Admiral Vivek Murthy. Vivek, I don't know how he says, but he's a U.S. Surgeon General. And he says loneliness is the epidemic.
My guess would be that the Surgeon General from Florida would probably get tapped for the Surgeon General's job.
Okay.
He was the guy way back during COVID who was like, yeah, no, don't give this to everybody. We don't need it. Him and DeSantis were super tight, and he got a lot of shit from the Biden administration.
Yep. So when did he announce one yet?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
It's coming up.
Lots of wild.
But that's where we fuck up our podcast because then it's not evergreen all of a sudden.
Well, yeah, we don't want to do that. Let's not talk about things.
So he's definitely named the Surgeon General, and we won't 100%, look it up.
And I think it was a really great choice.
Yeah, it's a good choice. That's some bad person. Yeah, it's all good though. So
it is good.
You know what's doing well? What your thoughts are on this, future boy?
Probably bullshit. But come on, let me hear it. What?
Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
Bitcoin, what is it? 87,000?
It was like above 90 yesterday. Ooh. It's back down to like 87. Okay. It's the most like...
sure, I'm glad we didn't get in on that.
Fluctuates?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Up and down, what do they call it? I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
Fluctuates.
Yeah. It goes up and down.
It does.
It does go up and down. A lot. They're like
volatility.
Volatility. Jeez.
Volatile.
That's why you're here. Keyword guy.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's pretty nuts.
It is.
I don't know. But you're the person who bought it at really cheap price. The pennies. And it's worth like $240 million or whatever. And he doesn't remember his password. So he's got hackers. He's hired hackers to try. He's got one more chance to get it unless the whole thing fucking is
That's insane.
Gone. It's fucking
How can
crazy.
It be that? Like, I mean, that's secure.
It's very secure shit. So you have 12 words to get into most, like your wallet, your Bitcoin wallet, or your MetaMask. So if you have MetaMask, it's 12 words. It's words like dog, frozen,
fart, pizza, cow.
Yeah. So keyword guy.
Right.
That's awesome. Podcast.
Sorry. You had to.
Ring light.
Yeah.
I don't think they use like the double word type thing. Jared, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
But anyway, and then you have like a passcode and a passphrase. It's fucking wild. And if you lose that shit, there's nothing, like if you have a JP Morgan, Schwab, Bank of America, whatever, Wachovia.
Oh, going old school. SunTrust.
SunTrust. Yeah. That's not that old.
Yeah, kind of. Got bought out by BB&T, right?
Yeah, they merged them.
Oh, okay. Then Truist.
Yeah, that is a terrible name.
Dumbest name.
I worked for those guys. I don't want to say bad. They weren't bad.
You worked for Truist?
Not really.
Yeah, you worked for BB&T, right?
Well, I did and I didn't because my company got bought out by BB&T.
Got it.
So one of our clients called me up because they competed with like the banks, like those kind of banks.
Right.
And he's super early in the morning. He's like, "You sons of bitches, you just sold to BB&T." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Who's we? And how much am I getting?"
Right.
So I pull up CNBC and there's that shit. I think it was $531 million, which is like,
that's not
even a lot of money.
I mean, is that even the renewals? You know, like,
a lot of
I mean,
money.
what the fuck?
They,
How bad were you guys doing?
Yeah, apparently not the best.
You didn't have an ownership stake in the company, though, did you?
I did. No, they didn't give me shit. So BB&T bought them out.
You're not an owner. You're not an owner type.
And as soon as that shit happened, we would go. They would send us on trips. Like we'd go to Vegas, we'd go to Miami, stay in like the Bellagio, the whatever. Really
the Venetian.
BB&T bought us out. We're staying in like some shitty Marriott hotel in Dallas.
Yeah.
Like Atlanta. And when you go to Atlanta, you're staying like downtown Atlanta where like no one fucking goes. Like we're not even in whatever decent part.
Not in Buckhead.
And like I'm out.
Dunwoody.
So done. And then they drop commissions massively.
Yeah.
And I knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped. I was like, holy shit. Are you guys serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit's changing around here, buddy. That's a Wilson, North Carolina. I think BB&T.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I never wanted to work for the banks until I got bought out by, but it's like, it's inevitable.
Oh, they had a whole brokerage arm that they were trying to grow out. I mean, when I was still in the insurance business, they were trying to go strong. The brokerage side, health benefits,
BB&T?
life. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The whole
They compete with all the commercial companies.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Wait till Saviors gets bought out by the bank.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that be wild?
So I was just doing research. So all these regional banks, what?
Are they? Oh, hold on. Are you serious?
What?
Banks are buying podcasts?
I was going to get to it.
Okay, I see that right there. That's called precognition.
It is. They should. They should buy podcasts because what they're doing is they're creating their own podcast.
Oh, bad idea.
But they're all doing it. So
I bet
any regional, they're probably terrible. But you know, you kind of have to do it.
Can we pretend to be a bank podcast for a few minutes?
Ooh.
Finish your point, and then let's.
No, that's good. I'm just saying, like these banks do have podcasts. Their clients can listen. They can put their employee. I mean, I got all sorts of reasons as to why they should do it. Right. Even if no one listens to it, you need a podcast. You need to go to the website and be like, ooh, they have a podcast. That's very progressive of them.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a political way.
Oh, I'm glad
progressive in a
qualifier out there.
They're moving forward.
Right.
Yeah. Podcasts are the future. And it's finally realized that people see it. They're like, holy shit.
Because everybody has one.
Fucking election was decided by podcasts. And the best podcast is yet to come. I heard about this. And if this fucking happens, this will break records. Joe Biden goes on the Joe Rogan podcast and tells all. What fucking happened?
Did you just come up with that idea?
No, I heard of some. No, there's no original ideas anymore. No.
Yeah.
He looks happy. He looks relieved. It's like the weight of the world has been taken off his shoulders. He's going to go on there and he's going to talk about the coup. It's going to fucking change everything.
Oh, that's great.
He could end the Democratic Party if he tells. That would be amazing.
It needs to be rebuilt.
But that podcast would change the world.
That's a pretty big statement. And I do want to make it about me.
Yeah, please. Well, you've done it 3 times already.
Yeah. Well, that's how I roll.
It's good.
Podcast no fun. I can't make it about me.
That's right.
Because I'm lonely.
That's okay.
Well, I'm open about it.
We should have the Surgeon General on before he leaves office. He can come on our show. And we talk about this lonely because you were on that shit early. And there's a line, you're like, oh, this loneliness epidemic is a real fucking thing.
Oh, it was, for sure. Yeah. No, I mean, it wasn't like, oh, I just kind of made this observation. I was listening to experts talk about that. Fuck experts. Fuck those guys. No.
Why are we experts? Subject matter experts know there's a percentage of how you are considered a subject matter expert. God, it's a tough word to say.
It's okay.
But it's not that big of a number.
No, it's not.
If you know X percent more than this person or the group of people that are in the room, the courtroom, you're a subject. That's fucking crazy. So yes, you are a subject matter expert. I said it right. Carry on.
Well, okay. As a subject matter expert, yeah, I'd heard about that early on and just started saying, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I mean, all the signs are there.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got people quarantined and everybody's online and we talked about that quite a bit. But I want to get back to this bigger idea here. Oh, wait, first, when I was making it about me, that's what's important. You know, this whole thing with Biden going on Joe Rogan, if that actually happens, that's similar to like my whole Kamala's new podcast, right? Where she tells all. Says, let me tell you what I really think.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. All of them are good.
I think Kamala could pull it off, but she's going to have to start that weed company for sure. Mm-hmm. And you know who she's going to employ for that weed company?
Who's that?
She's going to employ prison labor in California, just like she did when she was Attorney General for California.
Yeah.
And didn't they just, like, I think there was was it called Prop 36 in California, which was to stop the use of prison labor for commercial and state projects and all that.
Yeah.
And then they shut it down. So we're like, no, we're going to still do that.
That's cool.
That's progressive California right there.
I love it. We should move there.
Oh, man.
Yeah. West Coast. I don't know, man.
Yeah. You know, the West Coast used to be such a...
Here you go.
The only reason I would go to California is to go look for Bigfoot up in the northern side of California.
Yeah. We actually had a follower on Twitter, X, on X.
Yeah.
I think he wrote a book on Bigfoot.
Hell yeah.
And our ex-team commented on that. And it said, we have a co-host.
What's the name?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Well, this is good. This is good news.
It's very good news.
Yeah.
There's a book about Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a connection to you. I just thought of you. So it's like, it's good.
Look, man.
The shit that you can on X. No, it's good.
Oh, I know.
We're big. So follow us, Savior's Verse on X. If you're not following us, Jared's friend who's not listening to the podcast, if you truly want to know who your friend Jared is, the best version of him lives in this podcast. I was going to say on it. I think it's in the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You live in this podcast.
It is my best self.
Yeah.
Which says
so
a lot.
Good. It does. Yeah. I mean, I love you.
I think it's great.
This is, I'm going to do it again. This is a sort of a metaverse situation we have going on right now.
We're going to have to change the name of this podcast.
No, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I think they see Metaverse and then like all these randos follow us on X.
Exactly.
Because they see Metaverse and they're
it's the most like
that's like pornographic or something. Like, what?
Inefficient marketing tactic ever. Gains us nothing.
I think it does because they're still in on it.
Well, if they haven't left, then it does gain us
Zucks isn't fucking around. He's built that company. Remember when the people said that company's done?
Yeah.
Fuck, Meta is just like, you can hate it all you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's unreal.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah. And he just keeps getting bigger. And he's in on the Metaverse.
Of course.
AI.
Yes.
That's a new thing.
That's
really big. No.
AI's been around. The last couple episodes, you're saying AI's been around forever. Now you're saying it's a new thing. Make up your mind, Eric.
No, man, jeez.
I'm sorry. Now that all the election stuff is over, I feel like we need to have conflict, right? Just because
there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, there's no conflict.
All those people, I don't know if this is done. CNN laid off a bunch of people yet?
Oh, yeah. And MSNBC.
And they're all going to MSNBC.
They're so shady.
They're so shady. But they're all going to do a podcast now. It's going to be just amazing.
Yeah, I heard Chris Wallace has got a podcast.
And now he can say whatever he wants to say.
It's desperate. Yeah.
Well, because he's like, I'm watching Megyn Kelly. I'm watching these people. They're all starting podcasts. Yeah, but
there's difference with them and Chris Wallace. Like,
they still have fans?
I don't know. Oh, yeah. Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly certainly do.
No, I'm saying, but like, they have fans that watch CNN religiously.
Oh.
People read the New York Times religiously.
I don't know that anybody was watching Chris Wallace's show. Because I heard about this too.
I don't know. I've never watched it.
Here's the sad part. The sad part is that like I actually have heard about Chris Wallace having a podcast. I need a fucking life, man.
Yeah. That's
so anybody out there listening, do you need a new friend?
Yeah.
Because I don't have any other than Eric.
Yeah. But why do we know about that shit?
That's just sad. It's like, this is what's in my feed. And I'm just listening. I'm like, oh, ha, ha, ha.
It's wild though. The meme culture that we live in, it is wild. But you just like, you're reading something and you're like, let's say you have to go to X or Instagram because you got sent there because I sent you a text.
That's right.
And you have to go, or you read an article and they quote someone from X and you go into it. You can't get out of there.
You're hooked.
And thank goodness we're like very strong-minded individuals.
Very strong. We're so strong.
The person that's weak-minded, that's it. They're not coming out of there.
No, they're in there forever. And that's sad.
That is sad.
It's our job to go break them out.
Yeah.
Now I feel like my life has purpose.
Yeah.
Let's break them out.
That's amazing.
Of whatever we're going to call that.
If you're going to pick one, you can pick two. I'll let you pick two.
Thank you.
Social media.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what they're going to be called. I don't even know if it's social media anymore. Like, I don't know what it is.
I mean, it's become more social media than ever before.
Social yeah, whatever. Like, what are you long on these social media apps?
Oof. Well, what are the metrics?
I don't know. Like, is it just going to be so spread, so thin that there's going to be like app here, app there? It's like so many apps and we're going to pick and choose the channels. Kind of like news stations. Like back in the day, it'd be like channel, ABC, CBS, NBC, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to have like, and then it's like blew up and there's so many channels.
So here's my thinking. No matter what the company is, the incentive model is still mass consumption.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, right now, Facebook, like I've said before, I only go there for marketplace because it's great to sell stuff, find stuff that's used. But you open up the Facebook app and it's like some dumbass like update from somebody you're connected to. I'm like, this is such dog shit. And then it's an ad and then another ad. And then it's like, hey, you should follow these people. It sucks. It looks like it's so lazy.
Yeah.
Right now, Facebook looks like they've just given up on life. But there's some people in there who still love to post and everything else. So no matter what the social media platform is, it's all still being driven by ads for you to purchase something. So people are spending money on these platforms to drive revenue to their business. So that creates ad revenue for the companies. So when you look at that underlying incentive structure, I don't think there's any one platform that's going to go long. as long as that's the continued incentive structure. What I also feel like is that we have to have a new incentive structure. There has to be a new reason or a new way to generate revenue for these companies beyond just the ad revenue, because the ad revenue has gotten so bad, or the ads have gotten so bad that people are just...
They're spending it though, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's still, especially around the holidays, obviously. I mean...
Politics was fucking crazy, how much money they spent.
Yeah, but that's the political campaigns.
No,
that's not people like you and me. That's what really drives things, right? I mean,
Companies.
And just goes to show you, I mean, the Harris campaign raised over $1 billion and they got smoked.
They lost money, right?
Oh, I know. Apparently they're in debt, like $20 million in debt.
And I don't know what's true or what's not. It doesn't matter.
We don't give a shit enough to go research it, but so we won't go hard on that. But I feel like, any social media company or platform that's going to really be a game changer, it has to be incentivized differently. But that goes throughout the entire industry.
Yeah.
So I feel like right now you're going to have these short-term hits, like even like TikTok. TikTok is super successful because of these just short videos. It's just feeding dopamine.
Yeah.
So anything that can feed dopamine right now in the current incentive structure is going to do well if it has enough money behind it and enough eyeballs getting on it, enough people talking about it.
Yeah.
But again, that's like you have to manufacture the excitement for it. There's no such thing as this organic excitement about a new social media company.
Yeah.
There's just not, because they all function the same way. They all have to generate revenue the same way.
Jeez. So, all right, I did some stat lookup just to curious.
Look at you.
But I have to jump to the conclusion because X wasn't in the top 8. And the numbers are different wherever you go. This is Perplexity.
Yeah.
What about X? All Perplexity can talk about is how people are leaving X because of politics. So Perplexity just showed its wokeness.
Or did it? Now, what you can also do with Perplexity is, do you have the pro version?
I do.
Okay, just say, hey, you're an unbiased, objective analyst for social media.
Yeah, I get it. But you have to push it to go in that direction as opposed to it immediately went to the left.
Sure,
and said people are leaving because they don't like Elon Musk entering politics. And so everyone's leaving. At the same time, people are doubling down, tripling down on X. Now there's thought that the advertisers that left X are going to come back now because they want to look good in the government's eyes, right? Because Elon runs it and he's in charge of the shit now. It's fucking crazy, dude.
I mean, do we not have anything better to do with our lives?
Again, there you go. I know about this shit. Scott Adams told me that on Real Coffee with Scott Adams podcast. I mean, he told it directly to me. So it's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I think we should advertise. Who's our target audience? Let's figure that out.
Well, according to X, it's a bunch of like OnlyFans stars, porn stars that are, or wannabe porn stars who are like, hey, link in bio. Like,
people who are just interested in some funny shit. Like they're for real. They like to fuck around though too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't know who our fans are, but you know what? I want you to know that we love you. Like I'm talking right to you.
Sorry.
I doubt it. What does that mean? They look like me. Why don't you tell me what I look like, Garrett?
Yeah.
How's that for
I don't know.
Conflict. Sorry. Can we conflict for a minute? People say, can we dialogue? Can we conflict?
Can we dialogue, they say?
No, they do. People say, yeah, let's dialogue.
That's what they do at Seattle's Best Coffee. That's what they do.
You know what they do at Seattle's Best Coffee?
It's heroin.
Nothing, because they don't fucking exist anymore.
Used to.
They used to. And if they did...
They'd meet up at Burger King now.
Yeah, to do heroin.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the fucking Burger King?
Why not? In the Burger King bathroom, dude. You're not going to do it out in front of the customers.
Yeah.
You're going to do it in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to put an out of order sign out in front of the bathroom, because that's always there at Burger King.
Yeah. Out of order.
Or cleaning or something, or like watch your step, which is true. Like watch your step, needles everywhere.
Jeez. I think Starbucks coffee is probably pretty bad bathrooms. It's a bad place.
Starbucks is the place to go when you're traveling and you have to drop a deuce.
Really?
It is.
There's a solo dolo in there?
Exactly. And you'd think, oh man, it's going to be cleaner. It's not.
No.
It's not. And I think it's because they've made them unisex. And then we all know women are so gross in the bathroom. They just like pee all over the seat.
Yeah, sure.
They poop all over the floor. It's gross.
Yeah.
If women could be more like men and not do that,
God,
I think our bathrooms would be cleaner.
Yeah.
This is why I vote against unisex bathrooms.
Yeah. Okay.
They leave the seat up.
Yeah.
There's just pee
they
everywhere.
Pick it up afterwards. They leave it. Yeah.
Yeah. They're just like, exactly. They pick it up when they're done just to, and I think most of it's because they're mad because Kamala Harris lost. Well, except they were doing this while Biden was president too.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't know where you're going with this. Yeah, this should never air. Whatever you just said, I'm not with it. It's not good.
What? That, I'm upset that women don't put the seat down?
It's raining outside like crazy. And
you're going to change the subject?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know where you're going. But I was thinking this morning, We live in the Carolinas.
We
The
do,
weather's
man.
really nice down here for the most part. It gets hot. It gets cold. It's extremes. I don't want to go down that path.
Come on, yes, you do. Let's talk about the weather.
I think it's actually really nice to have a nice rainy, cold day.
Yeah.
I feel like in these warmer cities, less shit gets done sometimes.
Yeah.
When you're in the cold, what else are you going to do? You're just going to fucking work your ass off. There's nowhere to go. You're going to go for a walk in the park. It's freezing outside.
Just put on a slicker, bro.
I did. I went for a walk. I took my dogs out this morning.
I'm so glad.
I did. I'm just saying, I'm happy. I'm happy with bad weather.
Yeah.
Do you have the weather blues ever?
Yes, I do.
You do?
I do. That's because I'm a fragile human being.
It's like a depression thing. So it's being real right now.
Oh,
like,
no. This isn't bothering.
If this would happen for a week or 2 weeks or a month straight,
I would just be annoyed. But a lot of that too is because when it rains, the humidity, it always messes up my
humidity
sinus.
does what?
Yeah, it fucks with my sinuses.
Oh, if the rains.
Yeah.
Yeah, people get a headache.
Yeah. Exposure to biotoxins like mold, bacteria. But I tell you what, in the cold and in the South, I feel like we've talked about this. This is like one of those things that's on repeat in my head. When I talk about, humidity.
Mm-hmm.
It can be 45 degrees here, cold, rainy, and that humidity gets down in your bones. When I was in Colorado several years ago, I was in Boulder, and I was walking around the campus at 28 degrees, sunny outside, wearing a t-shirt because it's so dry. There's no humidity.
It's still cold though.
Yeah, but not like bad.
Your lips chapped.
Everybody was walking around like a t-shirt and it's 28 degrees outside. No, it's not like the wind is blowing on me either.
It's not.
Now if that happens, that's
what about the desert when it gets cold? Is that different? That's a different feeling.
If it's dry, I don't know. I'm just speculating. I've been in Arizona and Texas.
Yeah, it's cold though.
I've never spent time in the desert where there's no other people.
No, like a desert area like Arizona, Nevada. When it's cold out, it's cold out.
It does. It gets cold. Yeah.
But how's that different than the humidity in Boulder?
No, there's no humidity in Boulder. That's my
There's
point.
no humidity in the desert, I thought.
We're talking about humidity here in the Carolinas.
I don't know.
You don't even listen to me.
I do. I know you
I feel so unseen right now.
Yeah. Unheard, unseen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So
we were talking about apps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The biggest one. You know what's really big? It's WhatsApp. Worldwide. WhatsApp is the biggest.
Man, can I just be honest for a second?
No, you don't give a
fuck.
Yeah.
Just don't care.
Do you have WhatsApp?
No.
Really? Well, we should have WhatsApp.
We should start a bank podcast.
Oh, yeah. You wanted to do that earlier.
That's what we should do.
Yeah. And we should sell it to the bank. Highest
What
bidder.
would some titles be for that, right? So it's like,
Let's look it up, buddy.
Yeah. What are banks going to podcast about?
Regions Bank has 5 podcasts.
Here's the funny thing about the idea of a banking podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
That's such a regulated industry. They'd have to drop an episode once a quarter.
No.
Because they'd have to go through their.
Hold on.
No, let me go with this.
Okay.
This is going to be great. It doesn't have to be true.
Yeah.
Where was I?
Yeah.
Once a quarter. Because the regulatory department has to make sure you didn't say anything. Or you can drop them once a week, but you have to do this long disclaimer, right? So let's say once you get past the disclaimers and the regulatory issues of a bank podcast, then the episode goes out. What are we talking about?
No.
So this guy pulled up to the teller window, and I got to tell you this story. Now, I'm sure he was great because he's a customer of ours. Yeah. How lame is this conversation? The conversation would just suck. Like, what could make a banking podcast
Should we
great?
listen to one?
Do you have one pulled up?
I do.
Shut up.
Yeah, it's 4 minutes long.
Well, we're not going to listen to the whole thing, but why
No.
don't you just find a random spot in there? Okay, first of all,
Music.
right. Because it's how people feel when they pull up to the bank.
You are listening to the Next Step podcast, Building Your Credit, What to Avoid. Part of our Credit Basics series presented by Regions Next Step.
Ooh, Regions.
Tools and resources to help you get closer to reaching your unique.
This guy's got.
Are we violating copyright?
I don't think so on a podcast.
Alicia Summers, Financial Wellness Relations Manager for Regions Bank in Jacksonville, Florida.
This is 4 minutes long. We're already like 30 seconds into it.
When you were looking to build your credit. Alicia, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Credit scores play a vital part.
I don't think these
Dave,
people
she
are
just
real.
dropped in.
So I'm looking
You don't think these are real
forward to this
people?
discussion.
I don't think these are real
He
people.
didn't sound real.
She doesn't sound real either.
Impact potential lending, employment, and
Like they're not having a conversation like this.
No, they're reading off paper.
Establish credit for the first time or reestablish your credit after some missteps.
I mean,
There are some things you'll want
but-
to steer clear of.
This just
I'm going
sucks.
to pause it. But they have a pocket. They have 5. This one's actually older.
So, you see how she dropped in?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just came in like,
Yeah. Keeping hot. You got to
credit
let us
scores are
know.
blah, blah. It's, whoa, calm
Yeah.
down. How
Yeah.
about, hey, great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
No, that's all bullshit. No one wants to hear that.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Just get right into this shit.
All right, if you just want to get right into that, Shippy, check it out. Look, I'm going to save you 3.5 minutes because in 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to avoid to ensure that your credit score keeps going up. Number one, boom, just get right on it. You know, and then I would say,
pay your bills on time.
Pay your bills on time. Boom. Okay. And then clock's ticking.
Stop fucking submitting credit applications, you dumbass.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Don't leave lines of credit open if you never use them. Boom. Didn't know that one, did you? That'll be on a bonus episode when you subscribe to the Patreon.
Ooh.
See that? That's how you rock and roll on a Bankcast.
They would shit their fucking pants if they were at a Patreon subscription at a bank.
Yeah.
No, so we work with we work with banks, we work with financial institutions.
Oh, that's why you're being all sheepish about a bank podcast, because you have clients that are
we want to sell people that have a bank that want to have a podcast.
Yeah.
Because we could help regions with their podcast. It's that simple.
Man, look, here's the thing. But they would be in charge and they would say, hey, here's what you need to read in your podcast. And I would say,
no, we wouldn't do the podcast. They would do it. We would just produce it for them.
It would not crush unless we were hosting the podcast.
Look at this one. Better budgeting. And she's on the bike. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
I'm trying to understand.
Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, well, I don't understand the connection.
I don't know.
But they look excited, like better budgeting so you can go ride a bike.
Yeah. Private wealth management.
So the two of you can ride one bike. That's what it is. You know, better budgeting means that, you know, if you were better budgeting, you could have two bikes instead of one.
Look at this episode. They might have really have, gone to the bathroom at Starbucks when they got the title. Hey, compliance office, we want to publish this episode titled Understanding Cryptocurrency.
Like they understand it.
No, that was 2022. They probably said, don't buy it. And now look at the shit.
I know. Or they were probably saying, well, it's this thing, it's hard to understand. Yeah, we don't really fully understand it. Don't you love that?
Was Odell Beckham a Cleveland Brown? This is not changing the subject. So when he was with the Rams, he took his contract in Bitcoin and people laughed at him and made fun of him. Ooh. So he's out here on social media now dunking on people saying, oh, who's laughing now? Which should be funny though, because like tomorrow it could go right back down.
And then it's like, oh, what's up?
There's a Panther, I think, Okun, how are you saying it? I'm not sure who it was. Offensive lineman. He took his contract in Bitcoin.
Good for him.
Yeah. So we should have him on the podcast. But anyway, how to protect yourself from crypto scams. So immediately they just assume it's a scam. Maybe it is. There's definitely a lot of scams in there. Yeah. So NFTs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was big.
Yeah. You don't hear much about those anymore.
No. They're still there.
You know what we're hearing more about?
Yeah. What is that?
UAPs.
Yeah.
Unidentified anomalous phenomenon.
Should I let you talk and I'll come back in a half hour?
Everybody. Yeah. All right. Why don't you go to Starbucks? Why don't you go drop a Starbucks real quick?
Yeah. That's good.
That's what
You're so happy with that.
I am. I'm so pleased.
You looked up to the stars. You looked up to the UAPs.
No.
What is that video that they showed for the UAPs? I'll play with you.
The Tic Tac video? That's the one that most
where
people...
the plane's flying and all the little fucking saucers are going around that plane. And who took that shit? And they said it's unedited.
The one that's about MH...
There was a plane flying. Yeah. And all these little flying saucer
and then
looking
it disappears.
Things. Like there was one buzzing around because it moves in like weird...
You're talking about the plane that disappears.
No.
The whole thing about MH360.
So that was the plane that disappeared?
Yeah, that they've never found anything from. Yeah, so there's a whole thing on that.
So where is that plane then?
Well, they haven't found it. So, but the speculation is that...
That's pretty awesome.
Man, that's a whole rabbit hole.
I just read a book. Lost Time, I think it's called. Fiction.
Oh, yeah, Lost Time. That's
so fucking good. 1955. She's driving her car. Her husband's mean. So it's like domestic shit going on.
Gotcha.
She wanted to go learn shorthand. So she went to school. Her husband forbade it. So she did it anyway.
In the 50s, women aren't supposed
driving
to
back.
do anything.
There's some crazy shit happening. Next thing you know, she sees a light. She gets out of her car, looks up, and now she's in 2023. So she was 1953, went to 2023.
Oh, she got teleported.
Yeah.
That is one of the theories about MH360.
That's fucking crazy. They had to protect her, and then she hops out and she meets some. Oh man, dude, this story. Nice. I'm like tingling all over right now. It's good shit. Then I'm not gonna say what happened. Do you want me to say what happened?
Go ahead and say what happened.
She goes back. So they agree. The aliens.
And she's more empowered, more liberated than she was because she was living in 2023.
She learned some shit.
She did.
But when she went back, it wasn't 1953. They fucked up. 1955.
Ooh.
So her family had moved on. The kids wouldn't talk to her. Well, husband got remarried. He was an asshole. I didn't like that guy. Fuck him.
Let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she became something special. Like she was interviewing people.
You know why? Because she didn't have the burden of a husband who sucked.
Yeah.
And kids who would just weigh her down.
Yeah.
Hold her back.
No, she liked the kids. I think she developed a relationship with the kids.
She pushed them out of her body.
Then she got married. And she met the guy that she met in the future when he was a kid. And she married that guy.
She married the kid?
I just don't. This is a spoiler alert. If you're going to read.
What's it called?
I think it's Lost Time. I don't know. Something like that.
Oh, when did the book come out?
I think recently. I didn't know. I just like pulled it up. It's on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a great book. Why comes no one's read it? And I went back and then it had like a lot of reviews of people had read it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But
what was I saying
that's a
about
spoiler.
UAPs?
It doesn't matter. It's just because she got teleported.
Oh, yeah.
So I was wondering, that plane was flying, a bunch of shit's going on.
Mm-hmm.
They say it's unedited, unfiltered, like this podcast, unscripted.
100%.
I'm sorry, am I boring you?
Oh, were you saying
I just want to know what the fuck were those things doing?
flying around the plane?
Yeah.
Great question. I
Could
don't
have
know.
been birds. Could have been lights.
Doubt it, unless those are like bioluminescent birds.
Bioluminescent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shining real bright. Boy, they were moving crazy patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they are. I mean, my theory is that, you've got your nuts and bolts craft. That's kind of the hard stuff that some folks might see or that pilots might see. But honestly, the most reported anomalous phenomenon is these orbs, like the stuff that's over my house all the time. And that I recorded last night. I was going to show it to you, but
Yeah, it's up
my
there.
phone's being used right now.
Yeah,
Did a
oh,
mess.
man.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one that came down low through the clouds.
What was it?
It's just an orb.
What's an orb?
A bright light that is moving. It's not a plane. I mean, I've got the FAA tracker and all that kind of stuff too. And a plane blinks and it has a very distinct look. These don't blink. It's just this
experiment.
I don't think so. Anything that's at that level has got to have an FAA tracker on it. It's not a drone. There's no sound.
Why can't it just be a light?
Just a random light flying in the sky?
Yeah, why not?
I'm sorry.
Something, I don't know.
Is that a serious question?
Some kid who's outside with a watch and a light and is reflecting or some shit.
Oh my God, how dumb do you think I am? These things are moving. They'll show up out of nowhere.
That's too much heroin, buddy.
Yeah, it's great. They'll show up out of nowhere. Sometimes they'll come in hot. And then when they get close to the house, they start to slow down.
Just looking at you. What do your neighbors think?
Oh, yeah, they've seen them too.
And what do they say? You guys are all on the same heroin, so I don't know.
And jealous?
Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's wild, man. I've had some weird stuff.
Who's going to show up now to our podcast and want to ask you questions?
Everybody's going to want to ask about this.
Would it be the CIA?
Oh, whatever. I don't know. Okay, this is going to sound nuts. Look, listen here. Here's the thing. I don't need to know exactly what these are. I do not get the feeling that they're malicious, whatever they are.
Yeah.
It does not seem that they are of human origin.
Yeah.
They almost, and it's a weird way, like sometimes I just know that they're there. So I'll go out and they're there. Now, if they disappear, like, does that make me special? No, I don't think so. But I mean, I do go out sometimes and there'll be nothing. And then I'll just sometimes just kind of put it out there like, hey, if you're here, I'd love to see you. And then.
See, that's what's cool. So in that book, Time Lost, the aliens weren't what you thought they were.
I don't necessarily think they're extraterrestrial.
This alien in this book was actually wanting to help her out because he saw how her husband was treating her and she was going to get in a car accident. So he had to think fast.
Yeah, he fall in love with that.
Yeah, so he sent her to the future. It's pretty dope. But it's like, we always think that they're coming, they're evildoers or some shit.
Oh, that's the narrative. That's one narrative. I don't know.
That's the old school, like 1960s sci-fi shit.
Yeah, well, it's the whole...
fear-mongering.
Yeah, in defense. I mean, I don't know. I mean, for me, what's fascinating is that it's just one more thing to remind us that we don't really know shit. We're living on this planet and we all have this collective idea like...
Are we?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You love this question.
That's a great question. We have this shared collective reality, even though everybody's experience is different. And that is that all of this makes sense. None of it makes sense.
Yeah.
Why aren't we in the field, hunting and gathering, right? Like that would make sense, like every other creature on this planet.
Yeah.
But us.
Yeah.
So we have to weave stories together so that it all makes sense. And at the end of the day, the reality is we still don't know.
Yeah.
So for me, what's exciting about seeing these things, and I've seen some wild stuff, is that could there be a rational explanation for them? Sure. Anything's possible. Like I'm not married to one idea or another. All I can go on is my own experience of them and when they show up and when they don't and weird stuff that's happened. I may have or may not have told you this, but one night night wasn't even night. It was just daytime. I was just sitting out in my backyard. It was getting to be dark. It was, sun was starting to go down. And I just said something like to myself, like I was like, oh man, I was kind of tired. And I was like, man, I need some energy, like be energized. I need something for the soul. And then right then, I kid you not, about 200 yards above my house comes flying in what looks like a meteor, right? Or a meteorite, and it's just coming in hot. And I'm like, oh my God, what is that? And it's blue and white and it's just burning. It comes right over top of my head. And I was like, oh shit, there's about to be a loud boom because it's going to hit my neighbor's trees. And it came so low to where I could see the front end of it. And it was like this purplish color, white. It just looked like a meteor, right?
Okay.
It was small. And it comes flying in. I was like, oh my God, it's about to hit my neighbor's trees. And right before it got to the tree line, it just disappeared completely. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And I was looking around to see if anybody else was outside. Nobody else was outside. So I'd said that, and then that thing shows up. And I was like, oh, okay, that's not normal. Because that clearly wasn't a meteor.
What did you eat that day?
No, please.
Sorry, dude.
No tripping.
I have to, but you have to ask that because people are going to listen to this and be like, this guy's lost it.
Since that time.
Plus, our other fans are going to be like,
right.
I like
they
this
all
guy.
thought that I had it together. And look, I can only tell you what I've experienced.
Yeah.
Am I, ascribing meaning to it? No, not necessarily. Do I think that it has no meaning? No, I think there is some, right? But I don't have these experiences and then go, oh, okay, and that means this. It may mean something personal for me that's relevant to something that's going on with me. What drives me nuts is when people have experiences like this and then start telling you exactly what it means. I'm like, you don't fucking know.
Right.
Maybe you do, but you got to work on your delivery a little bit. I don't know. So there's a lot of people who are very matter of fact about things that are unknown. And for me, it's more of, look, this is part of the mystery.
Yeah.
And if I'm supposed to know something more, I'll know.
Yeah.
But, my identity's not wrapped up in it. They do show up over my house.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to be said about that whole meaning thing. Like we're all looking for like, what's the answer? What's the meaning and all this type of shit. And I was like, Einstein said some shit or I read about somewhere and I've seen it now in a few places, maybe because I'm like actively thinking about it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, the curiosity is actually the meaning.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good.
I think too, when you live in the age of information.
That's so fucking, someone hears that, they'd be like, oh my God, would you shut your fucking mouth?
I should have given more of a pause so that it kind of landed just better for you.
Yeah. No, it didn't have to. It's fine.
Julian could always edit in a pause, like a 5-second pause. It's like, they'll be like, oh my God, this thing just turned off. It's like, and then I can drop in.
Just some subtle music, maybe. Some AI music.
No, make it human music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
human music versus AI. It's all music.
I like human music.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So anyway.
Yeah. I was just looking to see if we had any new followers on YouTube. Because they will now. Because they're going to want, they hear about this stuff that you're talking about.
Especially if you say we're going to post Jared's video that he took the other night. I took one last night.
Will you?
I'm happy to.
Okay.
Yeah. It's wild looking. I mean, again, it's just that most people would look up and go, oh, that must be a plane or that must be.
Can you have access to the X account and you start posting this shit? It's get fucking wild, dude.
Man, maybe.
Goes viral.
Could be.
Who would show up first? Who'd want to talk to you?
It's me, man.
If there was something there, like, fuck, this guy knows some shit.
Well, I mean, look, so there have been people that have these things show up on a regular basis.
No, like, who's asking questions? I mean.
Oh, typically DIA, NASA.
NASA's not, they don't.
Oh, they do.
SpaceX.
Not your forward-facing
Elon.
NASA.
No, backwards.
Elon knows some shit.
Okay.
He definitely does. He looks really like, well, he's like, I haven't heard. And he's like, oh, come on now.
Do you ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
No.
Really?
I know. Isn't that sad?
Listen to it.
Okay.
It's worth it. Short. It's good. I read it when I was younger. I don't remember it. So I listened to it. And the narrator's amazing. It's like if you had a teacher, it was like a science teacher plus an English teacher, and you just read it and he was a voice actor. It's really good.
Talk about the perfect teacher.
Yeah. The perfect teacher. Yeah. I wonder what he's doing. The narrator. I don't know.
Who cares? Right? More important.
Curiosity.
Curiosity killed the cat. Oh, that curiosity is what matters.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what you were meaning to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So NASA's going to show up to your house.
Well, I don't know if they'll show up or not.
Your dog's going to bark.
Like, again, I don't put that much importance on me. They may be like, oh, he's just one more jackass who has orbs over his house.
Yeah.
But they do show up.
And they're going to go into your phone, right?
They're already in my phone.
No, I know, but they're going to take it.
Deeply disturbing.
What is he listening to? He's listening to his own podcast.
Yeah.
The Metaverse.
They're like, this guy.
So this guy thinks he's a savior.
Right. Of the Metaverse, which is already dead.
So he's not even really here.
Shout out to my boy, Adam, who said, I think it was Adam or was, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to go ahead and give him credit for this. But he said, yeah, that's interesting. Your podcast name. He said, I think you're saying, well, like you're already admitting that you failed because the Metaverse has failed. So you didn't save shit. I was like, yeah, that's true. That makes it even better.
I don't know, man. Look at this. Okay. Well, the future of the Metaverse, Elon University's got an article about it. Meta, Tech Target, Pew Research.
Ooh.
2 years ago. Metaverse in 2040.
Yeah, but that's 2 years ago.
That is 2 years ago.
I mean, so you always want to make sure, like, look, give me the most up-to-date information.
I know.
At the end of the day, it's like this. All these projections and predictions, they don't know shit. They get it wrong all the time.
Let's look in the past month.
Oh, well, it's not bad.
Peaked around 21, 22.
I mean, if they are going to bring Bitcoin into the federal government and, Elon's going to be doing this stuff, then the Metaverse could certainly take off.
Why the Metaverse isn't ready to be the future of the work just yet.
the metaverse only makes sense once, our current paradigm of work has been dramatically changed.
Yeah.
This is where I do think the UAP thing crosses over. We get into more of these consciousness studies.
Yeah.
Like those craft that people see that are moving really fast.
FINRA wrote about it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Those are your buddies. It's the compliance world, the metaverse and the implications for the security industry. October 24th, 2024.
Boom.
Is coincidence that both things are 24? I don't think so.
There you go.
There you go.
We need to just turn this into a conspiracy podcast.
They have an X account. I bet you the FINRA X account is dope. They have 60,000 followers.
Yeah.
Fuck.
How many of them are real?
I don't know, man.
Probably all.
And look at these pretentious assholes. 100. They only follow 147 people. Like, they're so fucking arrogant.
Seriously. Are we on there? Do they follow us?
I don't know. Should we follow them?
Do you want to follow them?
I don't know.
I don't want to get in there.
It doesn't matter.
Their line of sight.
Yeah.
I did like how you got in Tim Waltz's line of sight.
Oh, you just saw that? He's just posting shit. Yeah, whatever. We followed him for a couple minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this. Michigan offered $10.5 million, University of Michigan, football, to a quarterback that's committed to LSU. It's an interesting world we live in. He's a high schooler.
Yeah.
Your son plays quarterback, commits to LSU.
They're hoping he's the next Deshaun Watson.
$10.5 million. Yeah, I bet. That's a lot of money.
Hey, but you know what?
Changing.
The amount of money that they make off these players, in my mind, I'm just like, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's stop kidding ourselves that the education you're giving them is valuable.
It's not the school's not paying it. So I shouldn't say that. It's the NIL. It's a collective. So it's basically like hedge funds. It's wealthy donors collecting money. It's actually fans. So some schools, Arkansas, what chicken company? Purdue Chicken, maybe?
Okay.
So when you buy their chicken nuggets in the state of Arkansas, or you go to the game or whatever, a certain amount of that money is going to the collective for Arkansas so they can use it to go buy football players. Isn't that fucking wild?
Wild.
They do some shit like that at Tennessee.
Oh,
their quarterback at Tennessee, Nico, they gave him a shit ton of money.
Okay, Tennessee 2 years in a row now. They're crushing it. Yeah.
They got big. Well, I don't want to fucking unevergreen this shit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Oh, dude, it's totally fine.
It's so evergreen.
Yeah. You know what is evergreen? This right here.
Yeah. Relationships. Yeah, you did change your hand. That's good.
I did. I had to throw one of those up. It's right here. This is you just had like floppy wrists. They're just dropping over. It's like, this is what's evergreen.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't this be a weird problem if I just talked like this?
You know what Pauly Shore said?
That's such a great question. What did Pauly Shore say?
Is there a reason why all the late night shows just talk about politics? When I was growing up and I was doing David Letterman, Arsenio Hall, these are such good names from the past, there would just be a couple jokes about politics and the rest was just random shit. When we go back to the random shit, boys, any subject, too much. I don't know what the fuck he's saying at the end. I lost him, but it's right. Because like you watch a show and it's just politics. Like just fucking make shit up. So Steve Martin said his shit got funnier when he just cut all the political crap.
Yeah, because nobody wants to hear it. Do you remember when Stephen Colbert used to be funny?
Oh, I don't remember that.
Long time ago when he was on The Daily Show, The Colbert Report. He is such a piece of shit now. He's just like such a whiny, he's a shill for the DNC and everything else.
You can't be on NBC or CBS without you have to say this about Trump or that about this.
I know. I'm like, and come on, dude.
You're taking, what is it? What we talking about? Strong-minded, not strong-minded individuals, like weak-minded people. You're making them fear shit. For what?
How about that?
And they're not. They're really good people.
No, but the ones that take the bait and
they're
run,
not listening to our podcast because our podcast is for tough people.
Our podcast is meaty. It's for strong-minded, very intelligent, critical thinkers.
I think there's a lot of military, people you'd want to be on your side, on your team type shit.
Yeah. I'm going to go with that too. I just don't want to even look at the data. I don't want to be disappointed. I want my imagination to rule the day. That's how I go.
89% of Saturday Night Live's fall campaign jokes targeted Donald Trump. I don't know if he keeps track of that shit.
Now the joke's on everybody else because he won both the popular vote.
They just played into it.
I mean, but again,
they repeated his brand over and over again.
Right.
Jeez.
It's just being disconnected, man.
Yeah.
The thing that's wild for me is you and I were talking about this last time. You see stuff because if I'm going to go to Facebook Marketplace, the first thing that's going to pop up is the Facebook homepage. And then, of course, after the election, people are posting stuff like, I'm scared, I feel unsafe. I'm like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, come on.
Yeah. And just so for the record, if you're just listening to us for the first time, because we do get a lot of new fans each episode.
Yes, of course.
You're not some Republican.
No, I'm an independent. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Split ticket, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's so oh my God, I feel so unsafe. This is the worst thing. I don't know what to do with myself. Like all this, I'm like, I got an idea. How about you go outside?
Yeah.
How about you plant a garden?
Ooh.
How about you do something that's like,
What kind of plant would you start with?
well, something you can eat.
Oh, okay. So you're
So
talking
learn a
about,
new skill. Good question.
why can't you just something you can look at? Why do you have to eat it?
I mean, man,
Because it's good for the ground. What if it's like a sunflower? I guess sunflower, you get
you
sunflower
are
seeds.
killing my advice right now.
I'm sorry.
My advice
Go
is
outside.
good.
It is.
Go outside, learn a new skill, plant a garden, eat the fruits of your labor,
Sorry.
turn off social media.
I see where you went.
You like where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
It's okay. I needed you to conflict with me
Yeah.
in order for me to find my endpoint.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this relationship.
They say if you touch a tree, like you put your hand,
It touches you back.
something like that. Like you just feel, I'm going to see outside.
When
I'm
you
going to
touch a
drive.
tree,
You're going
it
to be like
touches you back.
leaning. Yeah.
But it's like that's who says when you peer into the dark to the void peers back into you, something to that effect.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's
But let's
fucking
think about
scary.
it is.
Shit.
I'm telling you, man.
How do you stare into the void?
You don't
Okay.
unless you want it to stare back into you.
Okay.
Yeah, man. But I like this idea about you touch a tree, it touches you back. It's good. And sometimes it touches you back inappropriately. And that's all I'll say.
It's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trees.
Damn.
That's why we need to cut a lot of them down.
Oh,
Because there's
man.
some that just aren't good. There's some that are good. Some aren't good.
Yeah.
Some trees are not good. Like Bradford Pears, that's a perverted tree.
Really?
Lots of allegations.
Because it smells.
I don't know why, but the city will pay you to let them come and chop it down.
Really?
They will.
That's not real.
No, it's 100% real.
Okay.
Don't look it up.
I'm
Don't
going
fact
to.
check it, Eric.
I'm looking Twitter,
Yeah.
X.
I create my own reality, buddy.
Jeez.
Bradford Pears are the scumbags of the tree world.
Mm.
They just are. I'm not a botanist. I'm a realist. The two are different.
Do you plant?
We plant garden food. We plant garden food.
Okay.
Like maters and basil,
Yeah.
peppers. The kind that you can eat. But we don't plant Bradford pears. You know why? Because Bradford pears don't even grow pears.
I was just say they don't.
It's just a lion-ass tree.
Maybe it's just a word for that. It's like not even a.
Who's this Bradford fella?
Yeah.
What's his background?
Yeah.
Or hers? I don't
Has
know.
Sam Bradford ever played for the Browns?
I don't know who that is.
He played at Oklahoma, but then he started making the rounds.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't care.
I was just wondering. It's just all back to there.
I'm just saying, look, let's take it back to the fact that the world is a mystery. And we just don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
Bradford pears and orbs help remind us that we don't know shit.
It doesn't. And that's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
That's why you do this podcast.
That's exactly why I do this podcast.
Find a friend. No, find a podcast.
Yeah. Who you can conflict with.
Invite a person over
Can we make conflict a verb?
and become friends.
I agree.
You friend through podcasting.
Friends through conflict.
That's our podcast.
Friends who conflict.
We should change the name of the podcast.
Friends who conflict.
Actually, we should have the podcast and give it a bunch, just come up with different names.
Yes.
Re-release all the podcasts with different titles. So if the same episode, the only thing we've changed is the title of the show and the title of the episodes.
I got it. Buddy Bradford's Extraordinary Ordeal with Orbs. Something like that.
Yeah. So it's all the vegetation community.
No.
I'm sure they would love our fucking show.
Well,
Today's they would.
hold on. Did you say vegetation community?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this community.
There's a community for everything. No, I don't think so.
Is there a vegetation meetup?
This is ending loneliness, some shit like that.
Yeah. This is what happens when there's a loneliness epidemic. Two
Yeah.
guys start a podcast,
Yeah.
take nouns and turn them into verbs.
One of our biggest shows is Better Fishing with Two Bald Biologists.
That's the name of the show.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's really.
Oh, it's enormous. People talk to it like, oh yeah, that's my favorite show.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. What do we talk about?
They actually have the same look you do, but they're bigger fisher guys.
Oh, it's not our show.
What do you mean?
Oh, that's an actual show.
It's an actual real show.
Oh, I thought that was the name of an episode. That sounds like an episode title that you would have made. I was like, I don't remember that one.
Two Bald Bios. Let's see if it is. Better Fishing with Two Bald Biologists.
Hmm.
And they're bald with beards.
Yeah.
They love fishing.
Yeah.
They work for the North Carolina Wildlife Resource Commission.
I like it.
It's a great show, but they're bald.
Well,
and
of
they're
course.
talking. So it's the two bald biologists.
They're identitarians.
We talked about that.
Oh, I think we did.
Not that
last
we
year.
would be curly and
There's nothing.
bald
Yeah.
or something.
We're opposites. You got a full head of hair.
Yeah, we should talk
You
about
got
that.
a shit beard. I'm
Yeah,
bald.
I know.
Got a glorious beard.
Okay.
Your beard's
It
not
evens
shit.
out.
Your beard looks good.
No, I don't know. It's all good, dude. It evens out.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Your beard will even out too. No, yours will even out if you just let it grow.
Which is, okay.
It'll even out.
I saw a picture of you when you didn't have a beard.
I know.
It's so
Had a
different.
small face.
Yeah, you did have a small face.
Yeah. I look like an easy target.
Yeah.
Now I look, kind of,
Yeah.
people don't know what to think.
Baggy pants.
Homeless,
Yeah.
white supremacist.
That's not true.
No, people say that. I have had some says I look like a rabbi because of my beard. That's
It's
interesting.
just weird.
Viking, which then falls back
That
to
makes sense.
white supremacy. I don't know, man. It's really tough. It's like, can I just be me
Yeah.
with my beard?
Why do you have to have the answer? That's the other thing that I have a hard time with. I think social media, LinkedIn especially,
Oh, yeah.
has put us all in a box. What do you do, Jared? I need it. One word: lawyer,
I do
teacher,
OnlyFans.
doctor.
Right. I'm a doctor on OnlyFans.
But like, you're a lot of things, dude.
I am a lot of things. So are you.
Yeah. Sorry. There's a lot of coffee. I've been
It's okay,
just
buddy.
sipping on coffee all day. I
No,
don't
it's
want
all
anymore.
right.
No, I don't
I
want
sip
anymore.
on coffee.
I don't.
Except I'm not going to be sipping on that Seattle's Best K-Cup anymore.
Sales beast.
Seattle's Beast.
Yeah.
Man, gosh.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm not sure if we got much more runway here. We've really covered a lot,
Yeah.
dispassionately.
Yeah. I don't even know what I wrote here.
It was irrelevant.
I don't even know what this is.
It's just letters thrown
Oh,
together.
86% of the world has a smartphone. I just saw that right before while you're doing some shit.
And?
Because people think that like the world's like really poor and all. I'm like,
No,
it's not.
that statistic doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
But I'm also very knowledgeable about pointless shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think, what else you want? That's it.
I think that's it. It's probably because of the rain.
I thought this was great. This is better. The last week wasn't great. You were good. You were great.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
I got
I
you rolling.
practice
Yeah.
by having conversations with people.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's going to run it? Real quick. We'll come back 4 years because this show will keep going. 2028 will be here before we know it.
Yep.
Be a great year.
Yep.
Who are going to be the candidates running for president in 2028? And will there be a third party?
Definitely think J.D. Vance is going to run for president.
Who's his running mate?
I think J.D. Vance's running mate would probably, well, let's see here. All right, so I'm going to throw some predictions out there. I kind of think of J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy, but I don't think Vivek would run if J.D.'s running. Vivek, I don't think he would run if J.D.'s running.
Run together.
Yeah, well, they could, although I could see J.D. Vance picking somebody like Nancy Mace, South Carolina Congresswoman.
Okay.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't.
Tulsi.
Actually, I could see Tulsi Gabbard running.
Yeah.
Again, it's.
Because they would play it out because then they'd be like, okay, well, Vivek.
She would crush.
Yeah.
I'd vote for her. I mean, unless she fucks up the next 4 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, as she is right now, I'd definitely vote for her.
There's a ticket there. JD with one of his constituents.
And I've said this about Tulsi Gabbard back even when she's a Democrat. She's the beta to nobody.
Yeah.
She's going to be the front runner if she's going to run. And not because she's an asshole or anything like that, but she just has that presence.
Yeah.
Like she's not a number two.
No.
Like if she's running for president, you're going to have to be her running mate.
Yeah. I got it.
She's nobody's number two who's going to do nothing.
Can you stay a VP?
JD was like, I just want to run for the VP.
I'm just the VP.
This is
Well,
great.
it's like, I want to be offensive coordinator. I don't want to be a head coach. I like running the offense.
Yeah.
That's what she would run. She should be the Browns offensive coordinator.
She would do a great job.
She would do a good job.
Way better than they could
Fucking
pretty much.
Dorsey. But Dorsey doesn't call the plays, does he?
He does.
He does now?
Yep.
Oh, so they're not doing well. Oh, no, he's doing it. It's his fault.
Uh-huh. Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I don't know, man. What a stupid organization. So disappointed by Browns.
Okay, so
Yeah, so Tulsi Gabbard. So again, the natural succession would mean that J.D. Vance would run because he's the
Yeah,
VP.
I get it.
That's kind of the way it is. But the Republicans do a pretty good job of putting up a primary and saying,
yeah, don't fuck up.
Yeah.
And make sure that people would actually vote for him.
right, yeah.
That's an important thing.
I mean, I don't see any reason why he couldn't garner support. I mean, he's very articulate.
Yeah.
He's not, a wild card.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
get
he
it.
would be fine. From Tulsi Gabbard would be a great. See, that's the thing is like the folks that I thought were good, in the independent space, or maybe we're on the Democratic side, have now become Republicans or they're
Right, like RFK or someone like that.
RFK
Yeah.
Jr. He was the guy I wanted to vote for.
Bobby.
Yeah. On the Democratic side, man, I'm just trying to think of like who has potential. AOC.
Yeah,
Probably,
what the
'cause she's young.
fuck?
It's like, but I don't. She's
God. She's an unlikable person.
well, and
Unless she wants to
she's-
come on this podcast and then
She's welcome to come here.
absolutely.
Yeah,
The invitation is open
always. Even to Neil deGrasse Tyson,
for sure.
he could still come here.
People do not like him.
I know they don't.
So he pops up in our feed now because we just talk about him. Because there's no privacy, as we totally figured that out.
He's arrogant as shit and doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
He's got these videos. Just go look up. If you're listening to the show, Jared has a thing for NGT. Is that what we're calling him?
NDT.
DT. Neil deGrasse. NGT, NDT. You can do whatever you want.
Neil deGrasse.
Dyson. So anyway, so shit shows up in our feed and he says what he says.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, that sounds really smart. And then you read the comments. 90% of them are just, this guy's a fucking fraud.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't realize how much people dislike him. You shed some light on it.
Yeah. It's the smug, the arrogance, and just the unscientific shit that he like comes out hardcore against. And he carries that weight of like, well, I'm an expert in my field. And so you all are stupid and you should shut up. I mean, he's like the epitome of that elitist mindset.
God, I thought he was just writing books for like, what is it, astrophysics for people in a hurry and for children. I thought that was cool.
Look, he was a good communicator.
Yeah,
but then he got all wrapped up in the political side of stuff and started making dumbass remarks.
Shit.
So like,
I didn't realize it, but the comments are amazing.
See?
Still run for president.
Yeah, he would get no votes. So here's what my prediction is this. The Democratic Party is going to learn nothing.
Really?
They're not going to learn anything from this because what they're going into. So, I mean, as you saw after the election results, it was misogyny, it was racism, it was misinformation. Like, I don't know, I watch News Nation stuff, and so Chris Cuomo pops up a lot, and his big guy that he loves to death is this professor named Alan Lichtman, who has his 13 keys, and he's predicted 10 out of the last elections correctly. He's so smug and arrogant about his 13 fucking keys. And he was like, Harris is definitely going to win because of this, 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 and this. And he was so wrong.
Yeah.
You know? Jeez. And it's just like, of course you were wrong. I mean, you guys had it all wrong. It was just wishful thinking. And it's just all these things are changing that you can't really. So, but he was on to talk about how he was so wrong. And he chalked it up to, there's just so much disinformation and misinformation, which is my favorite, is the ultimate bitch move.
Yeah.
Because what you're basically doing is blaming everybody else but yourself. And again, those who refer to disinformation and misinformation all the time are the ones that are usually attached to the organizations or the institutions that put out the most disinformation and misinformation. So it's just a bunch of horse shit. Nobody's buying it anymore.
Yeah.
But you just saw this stuff like, again, the irrelevant media talking about this was misogyny and white women didn't show up to vote for Kamala and everything else. I'm thinking nobody is stepping back and saying, maybe we should have had a primary. Maybe we should have let the people choose who they wanted to run.
Some people are saying that more in like the fringe media.
Yeah, not inside the party. They're not saying that, right? It's people like you, like me, who are saying, hey, you know what? As observers, you know, as somebody who's voted Democratic before, it's just, this is the most undemocratic party in the world. Well, the world of, you know, American politics.
They got some people though.
I mean, there's some.
Josh Shapiro.
I don't know enough about him.
I'm just saying these are names that had a lot of attention. AOC is the one that like pops up a lot.
That was.
What's your boy in California? That would be interesting.
That's not my boy. That is one slick. God. If the devil looked like anybody, it would be Gavin Newsom. He's so handsome. He is a good-looking dude.
You like him? Okay.
I don't like him. But, I mean, but here's the thing. If you think of, here's what I do like about Gavin Newsom is he looks like the caricature of the slimy, crooked politician who just looks great and everybody's like, wow, this and that. And I'm like, you know what? I got to respect that he's gone full in that direction.
Yeah.
And he is. He's a great politician.
He'd win California. Like, they need that.
Oh, yeah. Well, he could try and run, but I mean, I don't think he would win.
Yeah. It's basically, the election's weird because it just comes down, well, not anymore because it was a total wipeout, but like, it comes down just a few states.
Yep.
So you're going to get like Shapiro, Pennsylvania. You know, if you can pull your own state, and Waltz again, he should be VP.
No, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Not a good pick.
Yeah, on the Democrats side,
unless they just threw him under the bus and they knew they were going to lose. They're like, let's just go down. Kamala could run again.
You know, they're dumb enough to probably push that. I mean, that's the epitome of not learning anything.
What, 70 million votes?
Yeah, they'd be like, well, look, you know, next time Kamala could run, and if she had more time, and if Biden had gotten out earlier, these are all excuses.
I heard that. More time.
Like, I'm sorry. You don't need 3 months, like more than 3 months to state your position to the country, to say, this is what I stand for, this is what I'm going to do. Vibes and joy.
Isn't it wild? So one of the things that they said that really hurt her was, I mean, there's so many things that hurt. The View interview when she couldn't.
The View. Super relevant right there. God. The media, the View media.
The View media. Jeez Louise. So
yeah,
that's how we finished that. Jeez Louise. And I continue to see your boy, Buttigieg. Like,
he's not my boy.
You just referenced him a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I just connect the two of you.
Podcast.
Yeah.
It's like Mayor Pete should not do a podcast.
Yeah. Mayor Robot.
Yeah. Mayor Robot. That's right. Boy, nostalgia for old shows.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good. So go listen back to that one. And so anyway,
you should. Evergreen.
So evergreen.
Yeah.
And your garden. I mean, think about it. We're talking about evergreen, and you talked about
so many
garden.
dots are being connected.
Yeah, so good.
And some of those dots are orbs.
You can plant a garden in the metaverse if you want.
You could.
You could definitely do
You
that.
could do anything in the metaverse. You could grow horns.
People are buying like
You could grow
Burger King and
wings.
drinking Seattle's best in the metaverse.
I wouldn't say they're drinking it.
But they say they are. I don't
Well,
understand
they're
that.
lying. You can't drink anything in the metaverse.
What does Zuck say about that?
I can't talk about our conversations.
Okay.
You know that. I signed an NDA.
Do you like his new look? It's not that new. He wears a chain and he's got the long curly hair now.
Shut up.
You've seen him.
No, I haven't.
What?
I've not seen Zucks on a chain.
Yeah.
I seriously haven't. Hey, you're going to watch, while you're looking that up, you're going to watch the
He changed his look like
Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight on Friday?
Oh, not tonight. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
There you go. Unevergreen this shit. Talk about who won. Tyson was amazing in that fight.
He
Knocked him
fucking
out in 6 rounds.
Crushed him.
Yeah.
All right. Now take 2. Well, it was inevitable. Jake Paul's going to knock him out. He's a young man. Oh,
Yes.
what? The fuck? He looks like he's about to join a boy band.
Yeah.
He could be the
That's
old guy
good.
in the boy band. You know,
Yeah.
That's a role.
One Direction.
That's like what Donnie Wahlberg
Who's your favorite
was.
boy band?
Favorite boy band?
Yeah.
The Beatles.
Okay. That's a boy band. Wow. That was the original.
The original boy band.
Actually, Credence could have been.
Oh, no way.
That's not a boy band.
Credence was way too, there's nothing soft about Credence, man. That was a working
Why
man's
to be
band.
soft? Why is NSYNC soft? Because they're Mickey Mouse Clubhouse type shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
This is 3 days ago.
What the fuck?
You haven't seen this yet?
No. What?
Chilling, pop that up. That's got to be their front
Shut
video.
up.
If we post that picture with your reaction, what would you tell Mark right there? He's looking at you.
Keep it young, brother. Keep it young.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's better than his alien look.
He's just kind of, I don't know.
Do you think someone like that, unless he'd be a Democrat, it'd be like more like a Bezos, I think?
Look, when you're that wealthy, you're neither.
Trump?
Well, Trump's running for office. And
That's
ran
what
for
I'm
office.
saying. Would one of these guys run for office?
No.
Cuban.
Yes, he would. Of
He said he wouldn't, but shit changes.
course he would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was cool. I actually made a good post. He said, like, congrats.
Mm-hmm. Hope all the terrible things I said about you don't come back to
He
bite.
deleted all his shit. But it's like you play a game. It's like when the Browns play the Ravens, fucking hate each other.
Mhm.
Not that those guys had anything to do with anyone
No.
moving,
I like you bringing it back.
but they're fighting. They're
Mhm.
talking shit. Score a touchdown, you stare the guy down.
Yeah.
Whatever. You get in their fucking, and as soon as the game's over,
Yeah.
one team wins. Probably the Ravens. One team loses.
They're out there like
Probably the
hanging out.
Browns.
No, except the Browns just beat the Ravens. So
Oh, upset.
yeah, like
in this
3 weeks ago.
metaverse.
It was
Oh.
Jameis Winston's first game.
I thought you were talking about like our conversation. They just won. That just happened.
It did 3 weeks ago. They beat the Ravens.
Okay. And I'm saying like
It's
right
the-
now,
Oh,
like in this conversation, in our metaverse,
I'm so confused.
they played in a
Oh, in the-
Tecmo Bowl
oh.
game or some shit. I don't know.
Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah, that's so good.
It's great.
And then, man, congrats.
Yeah.
Good game. That's cool. I think the Democrats for the next 4 years should become fans of a team, not the Chiefs or the Patriots or some shit that wins a lot, like the Browns or the Bills, and their team loses. Because guess what?
What?
You lose sometimes and you have to get better.
Right.
So that Democrats lost. So instead of complaining for the next 4 years, get to fucking work.
But this is the problem. They lost. They won't learn because they haven't learned over the last 20 years.
I get it. I'm saying, but I'm telling them, now's your chance.
Oh, they've had many chances. What makes you think they would actually learn?
It's like the Browns next year. If I said the Browns next year is their year, you'd be like, why
Okay,
would
well,
I think
I'll
differently?
track with the Browns analogy here, right? There is
Yeah.
the reality that the Browns offensive line, for example, and their defensive line, the team is aging out right before our eyes.
Mm. Yeah.
That happens within a 5-year period. Easy.
Yeah.
So let's take that back to the DNC. Look at the Democratic leadership. You find this in the Republican leadership too.
Sure.
It's accelerated faster over there. But how old these people are.
Yeah.
So until the old moves out, they're not going to learn anything.
Yeah.
They're going to keep on doing what they've always done.
Yeah.
I mean, the playbook's so simple. Once they lost, they were going to blame the voters. They were going to blame.
They did blame the voters.
I know, of
They
course not.
blamed white women.
Yes. 50, yeah.
That's
What's her face with the
crazy.
view?
They literally said it. And then they're like still supporting them. Like they're literally calling you out.
Yeah. They're like, Latinos came out, black men came out. But you know who didn't show up? White women. 52% of white women. It's like,
How would you blame? Like, it's just
Yeah.
bizarre.
exactly. But that's why they keep losing and they don't learn anything. They keep doubling down on identity politics.
Mm.
I mean, the fact that Donald Trump got elected again, I'm like, it just shows how bad they did.
They're going to learn this time. They have to. I'm just saying. We're giving them the playbook.
Here's my prediction on this. For the next 4 years, they're going to double down on all the claims that they made during the election about Trump being the next Hitler and everything else. And they're going to just try and do what they did before and just be like, see, we're losing our democracy, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to try and scare everybody in to be like, oh, okay, I guess you're right. And they haven't learned anything. And then the pendulum just swings back the other way. And then it'll swing back the other way.
Unless you're listening to this in the year 2028 in October.
Yeah.
Fall day. Crispy outside.
Mm-hmm.
Leaves are starting to change.
Yeah.
The elections are on the corner.
That's right. And we have the first non-human intelligence running for office who was born in America.
Who's that? You don't want?
Non-human intelligence. Talking about the orbs.
I was about to say, this is the first election that's about to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's October 2028.
Got it.
Initials. JD versus AOC. That's it.
Yeah, dude.
I don't even know what the fuck that means. It just means something.
I don't think that
actually
would be it, though.
They JFK versus someone.
No.
This is the first time ever. FDR.
Honestly, so my gut tells me this is like the next Republican presidential campaign. I think it'll be Tulsi Gabbard at the top of the ticket.
Wow. Where's JD go?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, my gut just says he goes back to being a senator. Not because he's defeated, but more like, hey, I can get more done as a senator. Or JD goes on to work for a tech company.
Yeah.
Goes on to do something else. My impression of JD is not somebody who wants to sit around and just hold an office. Like, he likes to try and get shit done.
You want to be president, though, maybe? There's a cool picture of him.
I mean, maybe.
One of his friends posted. He was in Germany, JD was, and he met one of his friends for a beer.
Yeah.
This is before, and this is like Trump's running. So he's like been mentioned as possible VP.
Yeah.
And he's just hanging out. He's actually got what's behind you, an Ohio State Buckeyes t-shirt on. He's got a beer. He's got some food in front of him.
Yeah.
It's like German sausage or some shit. Looked good.
Bratwurst.
He took a picture of him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just saw this fucking guy a few months ago. And he's like, I don't know what's going on, whatever. Now he's a vice president or about to be of the United States. That's fucking crazy.
It is crazy.
So there's hope for you.
He's a very good statesman. He is.
Yeah.
And, he presents himself very well.
It's just weird how the world changes, though.
Well, here's the thing that I hope. Put some young people.
Yeah.
Younger than us. Put some young people up there.
Yeah.
That's who's going to be responsible for the future. Not these old fucks who keep running and this is the problem when you've got the old guard with no term limits and no age cutoff.
Yeah.
You got an age requirement to be president, but there's no age cutoff to get the fuck out of Congress.
Yeah.
That has to happen. And if that happens, now you've got a functioning government where people that are actually there have a vested interest in the future. Right now, they just have a vested interest in their stock portfolio.
Ooh.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I grab this and toss it?
Toss it. Just be done. I'm fucking I'm
done. I got
so
this.
Good. Yeah. All right, man.
Knowledge. Yep. All that
stuff.
Wisdom. All right.
So good. We've solved a lot.
We did.
Saved a lot.
Yeah.
Changing the name of the podcast. We're going to have 5 different shows.
Proud of you.
So much distribution.
As my wife would say, I'm proud at you.
Proud at you?
My oldest used to say when he was 3, I'm proud at you.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like we conflict.
I like that. Tell him I said I like that.
I will. He'll appreciate that.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, buddy.
All right. See ya.
Later.